Adrenaline in my soul. Today on the channel, Ultimate Cody Rhodes.
The spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another WWE Mattel Ultimate Edition unboxing and review. But today on the channel, we got something a little extra special, as we got the WWE Mattel Ultimate Edition Mattel Creations exclusive Cody Rhodes. And I gotta give a special shout out and thank you to the Mattel team for sending this my way for early review purposes. Always do appreciate that. Of course, I purchased two of these on myself that are coming here in the next month or so, and I would assume everybody's will be here in the next 4 to 6 weeks. Let's call it that, as this did go up for pre-order early last summer, I guess I would say. And it was a Mattel Creations exclusive, and it was up for pre-order for a month long or 2 weeks, something like that window. Very similar to the Logan Paul Ultimate Edition. And you could order these at the time only on MattelCreations.com. So here we are about a year later. They are finally shipping, and that's what we're going to dig into with this very video. And of course, we're going to do this video like we do all the other videos on the channel. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to see where it goes from there. And of course, we'll have some comparisons later on in this very video, so stay tuned to that as well. But let's dive in. Let's see what's going on. And I wanted to give a special shout out to the shipper box. As you guys know, on this channel, we unbox a lot of things. A lot of people say, I don't want to see the packaging. I don't care. I love the packaging. It's part of the fun. It's part of the whole entire process of getting a brand new action figure. So I always want to dive into the packaging. Even the shipping container, as I do believe this will probably be shipped in this packaging here. I don't know that for a fact, but it does say put shipping label right there. American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, Mattel Creations on the side. But the cool little Easter egg on the top, cue dramatic box opening music. I think that is a really cool tongue-in-cheek thing. Dressing up this mailer box a little bit. Wanted to point that out. Thought that was really cool. But off to the races, off to the side. See you later. And then you unbox that and you do get another box. It becomes a box and a box and a box. It's like one of those Russian dolls is what it reminds me of. But we do get this nice big box, this big thick protector box for the Ultimate Edition Cody Rhodes right here. It's got Ultimate Edition, you got Cody Rhodes, very cool packaging design. You got kind of the black and white Cody back there, just very, very cool looking. And then you get the bam, full on color Cody Rhodes on the side here. And then on this side, the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes in the red and blue attack looking nice. And then on the top it says, welcome back Cody. And on the bottom, you get the UPCs, the warnings, all that kind of stuff there. But a very cool, nice shipper box. I will say, let's compare it. I do have the box. It's just a box here. For the Seth Rollins latest Ultimate Edition, we unboxed on the channel. Check this one out. But you can kind of see the comparison between these two. This is very much like a Mattel Creations Coliseum Collection box is what this really does remind me of. But you can kind of see how it compares to an Ultimate. If you wanted to put it side by side on your shelf against an Ultimate, you can see that as well. They're truly both Ultimates, but different, a little different packaging there. But very, very cool. Going to put this off to the side. A nice, gentle see you later off to the side for that packaging. And then inside that box, you get another box. You get Cody Rhodes in this box. So this Cody in here is very well protected with all these boxes around it. But a little different, a little change of pace for the Ultimate Editions. We've seen the Coliseum collections with the sliding back and stuff. We've, of course, seen the Ultimate Editions. We've even seen the Kane Ultimate Edition in a little box. But this is the first time we've seen a really designer box like this. Very, very cool packaging design. And like I said, I always love packaging design. I love a little bit of change right here. Yes, it's not like our traditional Ultimates. Got that box here again. Very similar, but very different. It's about the same height. And the backs on these are roughly very similar, roughly the same kind of concept, but definitely a different package here with the whole front that pops open. Very, very interesting, and I will say plastic-free packaging for the most part on this one. I don't think that's a road they're headed down, but for some of these special releases, some of these like Mattel Creation ones like the Logan Paul and this one, we're going to see that in the long run. But there it is right there. Very cool. Once again, you get that same Cody design, but you get kind of that tattoo logo. It almost looks like one of those biker masks with the skeleton and skull on there. Looking really good. The American Nightmare Cody Rhodes Ultimate Edition Mattel Creations, playing all the hits right there. On the side, not a whole lot. On this side, not a whole lot. But then the back, oh, that's where the magic happens. We get the glamour shot of the action figure, get the glamour shot of Cody walking to the ring, tail of the tape, the blurb, playing all the hits. Let's see what it says about our friend, Cody Rhodes, good friend of the channel. Don't forget that. The American Nightmare Cody Rhodes, 6'2", from Atlanta, Georgia. Finisher Crossroads. There you go. And then at the bottom down here, when it was announced that Seth freaking Rollins would face a mystery opponent for his WrestleMania 38 match, the rumor mill went wild. Oh, the conspiracies were running wild too. Jesse Ventura and I were in constant communication around that time frame. Who could it be? The visionary waited in the middle of the ring before the lights went out and the WrestleMania crowd buzzed in anticipation. Wrestling has more than one royal family echoed throughout AT&T Stadium, and the record-breaking crowd roared with unrivaled enthusiasm. The rumors were true. Cody Rhodes returned home to the WWE. So beautiful copyright, beautiful pictures. Like I said, I love the packaging. Very cool packaging on this one. I could see this winning some packaging awards in the toy industry. It is a thing. It is a thing. But it keeps on going. It keeps on going with this packaging. It's a little extra special. I forgot to mention the very top, the prodigal son returns on the top there. Always cool with those Easter eggs in these Ultimates. But you do get Velcro at the top. And bam, unvelcros, knocks down the stage right here. So you get a little stage, a little ramp action there for Cody to come down, if you so please. Cody in the plastic prison inside of here. Doesn't look like any twist ties, anything like that holding him in, so it's just Cody straight up inside the package. But a very cool packaging design. I will say you got to be careful. As you can see, mine's kind of coming off the box a little bit. So it does have a bend. You got to kind of fold it in there like a piece of paper because it'll just sit here like this unless you give it the fold. But you could easily rip it off the side. So be careful if you want to keep this packaging. This is my unboxing packaging. I'm not going to hold on to this. But when I do get my other ones, they will be mint on card samples. But very cool. I love the ramp, love the color, love the design. So on point here. And very inventive. Constant learning, constant improvement. We should all be reaching for the stars every single day. Whatever your day job is, whatever you're doing in life. Constant learning, constant improvement. And that's what the Mattel packaging team said. How can we do something different? I mean, I'm guessing I'm putting words in their mouth, I guess, for them. But they said, what can we do different? How can we make this extra special? And I think they won over with this one. I think it looks really cool. It's something different. It's definitely a defining moment without being a defining moment, if you know what that means. But very, very cool to see Cody in this whole packaging, this whole unboxing process. A lot going on. 7 minutes of unboxing right here. But we want to be detailed, want to go through it. But I'm going to pull Cody on out, and I'd assume he will just pop out of here. What do you know? So this is really nice for some of those. Are we locked in? Oh, we're locked in at the feet. Oh, we got to eat defeat a little bit here. We are locked in at the feet, so it's not totally unlocked, unfortunately. So you're going to know if this was removed from the packaging and put back in by the clasp at the feet down there. So definitely check that one out. It does say as well, additional accessories inside. So I'm going to try to cut this open right here on the bottom. If I don't throw my knife around, don't want to cut my hands off or anything. Or do we? It would be good for views, I'm sure. We get this right here, and I assume, I'm not exactly sure how we go about this process. I guess we're going to find out here together. We're going to unbox it from the bottom, see what all the fuss is about down low. And I do assume, yep, there it is right there. So we're going to put Cody off to the side. We've seen enough of that. But then you get this cool little stage. You got the American flag going on there. Almost looks like he's getting up on the Olympia podium is what this kind of looks like. Once again, we get tape holding stuff in, and we're loaded with accessories inside here. We're going to see. I can't remember. That's the fun thing about this. Sometimes you forget what's inside these things. But we do got this, a nice little stand. I can see people holding on to that for sure. See you later off to the side. But then I feel like I'm opening a Hasbro package right here, Hasbro style. We do get the extra accessories. Pull it all out. Of course, we got all kinds of stuff in here. Parchment paper, bam, see you later, goodbye. And all right, now we get down to the old business here. We got 2 heads for Cody Rhodes. We get extra hands, and we do get the Nightmare weight belt. So I guess let's look at this first. I believe, and we'll co-sign that, or we'll make sure it's the truth, but I believe this is the same belt we saw with the Elite 101 Cody Rhodes. But we do get the Nightmare belt, looking really good, of course. Got to have this with every Cody Rhodes figure, unless it's a basic at this point, as he always hands one of these out to a kid in the audience. Like a young Bret Hart is what he is. Hopefully when I see Cody next, I'll say, Cody, give me the belt. And maybe he will. Maybe he will. Or maybe I'll get Emma as a ringer and have Emma do it. But who knows? But there it is, Nightmare right there. Then we get the hands. We got 2 gripping hands on Cody out of the package. And then Cody, he's not messing around. He's got 2 fists of fury. He's not scared to get dirty if he needs to. So we got 2 fists of fury for Cody. And then we got 2 wide open hands here. The wide open hands for Cody. You do get the painted on hand tape on the one hand on all the figures here. So keeping that all together. Then we do get 3 heads for Cody Rhodes. And I guess let's start with the heads on this one first. Now, these heads look very similar. This one that's on here right out of the package looks like the Cody Rhodes we've seen before. So we're going to have to figure out which one. I guarantee probably one of these is the 101 head. Makes a lot of sense. But we do get that right there. Cody looking only like a Cody could look. Very stoic looking right out of the package. But then we do get into a screaming head, and Cody, no stranger to screaming heads. Of course, we go back just a short time ago to Jazzwares, where we got a lot of different Cody Rhodes with a lot of different head sculpts, including screaming heads like this. So when you get a good screaming head, still you know it's Cody. Definitely makes the head look bigger. This head is way bigger than this one. A lot of that has to do with the mouth being open, making it seem like a little longer of a head, but definitely is Cody Rhodes again. You get the big old tongue there in the mouth, the big white teeth. He's been going to Dr. Britt Baker, apparently, keeping those teeth white and clean, looking good. Blonde hair on Cody, looking nice on point. No paint issues, nothing like that. No uneven eyes on that one. And then we do get Cody in a more smiling face, more similar to the one that's already on the head. But this is a good everyday Cody Rhodes. I think this head is actually better than the stoic head. This just looks a little plain Jane. This got just a touch of personality. Not as much personality as the screaming, wide open face, but just enough to be dangerous, we'll call it. So I do like that head. So to me, it's going to be between the screaming head and this head on this Cody Rhodes. So we got to look at those heads. Now we're going to look into this figure, and I guess the first thing we should look at here and talk about is this jacket. Now, this jacket feels a lot different than I was anticipating. For some other reason, or for whatever reason, I was expecting this to be more soft goods, where this is almost like pleather. It's almost like trash bag kind of feel. You know, it's got that feel to it. Or for some reason, I was thinking this was just straight up cloth. So, not sure if I would have enjoyed the cloth one. I guess I'd have to see it when it does finally exist one day, if it ever does. But this is actually better than I thought in hand. I'm not sure this is going to be able to take out the AEW Supreme. That is a very good figure. We'll, of course, compare that, talk about that sooner rather than later here. But definitely feels good. I love the detail. I guess we'll call it painted onto the jacket here. You got a lot of detail, a lot of the buttons and ribbons. I feel a cloth one obviously would add a lot more expense to this figure, more detail, things like that, but boy, it would really pop. As this pops, it looks good on a shelf, but in hand, you kind of touch it and you feel like maybe you should be feeling some gauntlets and some buttons and things like that. Well, it's not there. It's just all painted onto this jacket, so it feels a little bit different. Besides that, though, the shoulder guards are molded on here, so it's nice soft plastic on the shoulder guards. Good collar on him, of course, as well. Not terrible. I don't know. They could do better in the future, possibly. I guess we'll see what happens. Is there's no doubt in anybody's mind we're going to be overloaded with Cody Rhodes for the next... How long is his contract? 5 years, let's say? For 5 years, we're going to get Cody Rhodes figures on a pretty consistent clip. We already know there's a defining moment right around the corner as well. That's probably our next Cody Rhodes we're going to take a look at. Actually, the next one might be a Stardust, so stay tuned for that as well. But definitely looks good, looks interesting. I guess I could grab that Supreme right now. I have my Supreme here with the screaming head on Cody. The one thing I don't like about this AEW one is, and a lot of the AEW figures kind of have that grayish skin tone color, like they're a little sickly, like they were laying in a lake, they're a zombie coming from the lake. Maybe that's just me, but I do gotta say, I think I do prefer the jacket on the AEW Supreme. It is very, very similar, as you can imagine, but different. But different qualities, different ways of going there. And at the end of the day, taking that business step back, I think Mattel did do the right thing here. They made a softer goods, we'll call it, than this one. And I think they had to go in that direction, because if they made one straight up on this, people are going to say they just copied this, whatever you want to say. I do think it was a good idea to do something different. We'll see. There's no telling us that they can't, 2 years from now, a year from now, redo this and have a Polly Pocket style one if they wanted to. Things like that. They could easily do that. But I think for what they were trying to accomplish, they had to be different than the competition. And you got to take chances from time to time. And I think that's where it goes with this Cody Rhodes here. But you can kind of see the difference between the two figures. Both really good figures. I do have the screaming head sculpt on this one. I'll probably use the same one, like I said, for this one over here. But definitely looks interesting. But let's disrobe Cody Rhodes. Oh, Cody, you're getting disrobed right here on the channel today. We're taking off your clothes. Get this jacket off. Jacket goes off very simple. You can bend the arms, of course, and slide it right off. But you do got to be careful with this one, as I could see this very easily getting wrinkled up. It does Velcro together, so it does stay together with Velcro. But it could very easily get wrinkled and bunched up. So you got to be a little bit careful with this. That is my pro tip out there today. But now we got Cody out of the package here, and it's definitely an Ultimate style body on Cody Rhodes. Very interesting here. You do got a little of that painted on speckled salt and pepper chest hair going right there. Give us the real fur. Give us the real fur. I say that tongue in cheek. Some people think I'm serious, but I am. Give me the real fur. But no, you don't have it. You do got speckled on there. Of course, you got the dream tattoo on there. Looking really good. And speaking of tattoos, that was one of the things that I was kind of against, or not kind of, I was in my Elite 101 review. Something that ruins it for me a little bit here is that tattoo going up over the face. When you move the head, it's weird. It just looks very strange. It doesn't follow very well. It's a lot like the Andre Ultimate Edition singlet. You move the body and all of a sudden it breaks up the lines. It is a very difficult process, but to me, I think what Mattel should do is just take it off the head. The head shouldn't have any of the tattoo. I get it. It might be accurate to be a little bit on his neck up there on the kind of over here. But I think for action figure purposes, just like action figures, I always say I want an action figure to look just a little bit more crazy than the actual person looks. If he's got a 6-pack, give him an 8-pack in action figure form. That's kind of how I view action figures. Everybody views things differently, of course, but that's how I view it. And I would say bring that neck tattoo down, shrink it down, whatever you have to do. It could still look good. It'll still get the point across, but that does always look a little bit ugly. Maybe that's just me. You guys sound off in the comments right there for me. But of course, head's removable, head side to side, back and forth. All the usual head articulation we are used to. Arm's going to go all the way around for us. Big butterfly shoulders, and I love... I didn't really like the butterfly shoulders when they first came out, especially on the back because they're a little bit of an eyesore. But I gotta say, they feel so smooth. Smooth like butter. These things move so well, and they're not loose. They're not overly tight. They're just really perfect. So I will give kudos to the team there for the butterfly shoulders looking really good. Of course, you get the bicep cut. We're used to that. Double jointed, pinless elbows. Hits being played right here at the table today. We got that going on. And then you got the hands back forth, side to side, hands, of course, removable. You got the hula hoop ab crunch. We're used to that old hula hoop. Cody can do all of his famous dance moves. You get the big waist cut as well. The big old Cody Rhodes splits. Look at that. He's splitting all across the USA. And then we do got the drop down hips. You either love drop-down hips or you hate drop-down hips. I am not a huge drop-down hips guy. I know some people love it for action figure photography. You get the legs way up and stuff. To me, they make this part a little bit more brittle. We've seen failure in G.I. Joe. We've seen some in the Ultimates where they've broken off. I just say you got to be careful there. Personally, I would rather have more ankle articulation than the drop-down hips. But once again, that's kind of up to your own preference, really, at the end of the day. You do get a thigh cup, looking really nice. Double jointed knees, not pinless yet, but I think they're working towards it, but really nice there. Boot cut, ankles, back forth, side to side, like I said. Would like a little bit more ankle direction over this, but maybe in the cards for one day. And then you get that toe articulation that's making Todd McFarlane smile somewhere. You got that going on right there. But very, very good. And now you get down to these pants colors. I don't even know what you classify this color. I guess yellow, like a mustard yellow, a honey mustard yellow. Oh, honey mustard. A Chick-fil-A sauce yellow. Could be any of those. You do got all the graphics all painted on there, the stars. No paint imperfections on mine. We do not have knee pads in the traditional sense, but you got some knee pads right there. You got the Nightmare logo on the white boots. You got the black piping around the shoes. Looking really nice as well there. All in all, a good feeling figure in hand. I'm going to pop a head off and just mix it up for why not. We'll mix it up. We'll put the screaming face on there. Whoa, that screaming face looks interesting. If you had just like resting screaming head, it might look a little bit strange. You kind of have to have him in a dynamic pose. I'm kind of leaning towards the smiling head now after I see this on here. Maybe it'll look better with the jacket on. I do got a little bobbleheadness in the head. I will say just a little bit of bobbleheadness going on there, and that could vary on each figure. We'll see what happens there. But definitely interesting. Now, does he fit on a ringside collectible stand? Use discount code Kyle. Save yourself 10%, of course. And what do you know? He fits perfectly on there. Bringing out a few other comparisons here. Here is another Cody Rhodes Supreme. I believe this is the Walmart exclusive one. You can kind of see the body differences and the size differences. Now, I said how I like the jacket better on this one. I think I like the thickness on the body. Oh, Cody and his thickness. I like it a little bit more on the Mattel, and I also like the skin tone tint color on the Mattel better than the Supreme. I definitely do like that difference there. Looks a lot better. Head sculpts, I could see where it's a pick-em, really. Some are better with AEW, some are better with Mattel. Kind of goes both ways. Now, I don't think the AEW ones are going to fit straight on here. We're going to pop this off and we're going to see. But you could make this work if you wanted to heat it up for sure. Yeah, I think I need a little heat on that one, so that's not going to work. I don't want to press it. That's all I want to do is break it. But if you really want this over here and switch back and forth, you definitely can do that. I'll move to the smiling face. Might as well at this point. You could definitely do that if you heat it up. So if you like a AEW head better, put it on there. Heat the head up. Put it on the Mattel. choose your own head adventure with old Cody Rhodes. But like I said, I do prefer the body style on the Ultimate. I do prefer the skin tone on the Ultimate. The head's basically a pick'em. I do prefer the jacket on the AEW Supreme. So that's kind of my final verdict, but I really do like this figure at the end of the day. And I like that they gave him the, well, I guess you had to give him this, the honey mustard tights. Definitely different than this one, but it makes sense for what this was trying to represent. Of course, his re-debut in the WWE. A couple of other comparisons there. We did talk about this one. We talked about the WWE Elite 101 is what this one is, and I believe it is the same weight belt. I wanted to double check, fact check that. It looks to be the same to me. Maybe a little bit more vibrant in the color on the new Ultimate one, but it could just be the one I got here. But very similar. Of course, you get some of the same heads. I believe the one head is the same head. Yes, it is. Same head over there. And that makes sense. You're given 3 heads, you can give some reuse with that one as well. But it is a very similar version of Cody, however, in elite form. The nice blue trunks, or tights, I guess, technically. But definitely looking good. But we got that for a little comparison's sake. And we keep on comparing. Of course, the last Cody we unboxed on the channel, I think, was this dupla Cody figure from the Masters of the Universe line. The Sunman line, of course. But a lot of people having fun saying this is Cody Rhodes in this. But there it is. And shout out to Cody. He does collect his Masters of the Universe figures. So maybe he's on the hunt for a duplicate. I don't know if he's dabbling in the Sunman. I'll ask him. But that looks really good there. And then a couple other comparisons. How about an old school Cody Rhodes? We're taking it way back in the Elite line. Back when he had black hair. Look at that difference there. That's quite the shocking difference. This would be a great one in the future for a greatest hits line. Stuff like this, a flashback, throwback Cody Rhodes figure. Because you think about it, he's been around a heck of a long time. A lot longer than it seems to be. But what is time, as we always do say. So we do have that. How about this one? I got my giant WCW Custom Ultimate Edition off that Andre. I popped Andre's head off, put Giants on there. Look at that size difference. So you can see that Andre body against Cody. You can see a heck of a size difference between these two. Very, very cool to see those two there together. And of course, Paul White in AEW with Cody for a time. I remember that whole match, and he was, I think, helping with the tail of the tape, I think it was, if you remember back to that. And then the very cool one, a lot of people will be displaying these two, I'm sure, together, is Seth Rollins. So you can kind of see him and Seth Rollins side by side. One of the greatest feuds of the last couple of years in WWE. And I'm sure they're going to run that one back a time or two in the future. I'd have to imagine that will be part of the staple of WWE programming going ahead in the next few years. I think that's fairly certain at this point. But looking good. I like this Cody Rhodes Ultimate. Is it going to be my Ultimate figure of the year? I don't know if it's going to be quite that good, but it is definitely a march in the new Ultimate Cody Rhodes. I do think we're going to see more Ultimate Cody Rhodes in our future. There's just no doubt about it if you ask me. But it is a very cool figure. Packaging, absolutely top-notch. As much as I do like the Supreme packaging, the big window box, things like that, that is a very nice packaging, but I love a little special one-and-done packaging here. And I do like that the box, the outer shell box, is uniform to the Ultimate, same size. So if you're bookshelfing them, it'll fit right there all together. It can fit with your Coliseums, the Zeus, Hulk Hogan ones. So that is on brand, on point there. But a lot to like about this one. I wouldn't say throw away your Supreme one. I think it's going to depend where you do sit. And like I said, I broke it down. What I like about AEW, what I like about Ultimate. There's something for everybody in both of these figures, really, at the end of the day. So Cody Rhodes Ultimate Edition, a very cool one, a very long review because of the packaging, of course, but just a very fun figure, and I can't wait for everybody to have this, hopefully in the next 4 or 6 weeks, something like that. But very cool, and like I said, this is going to be around Cody Explosion of action figures. We got the defining moments right around the corner from that, Stardust, and I'm sure a lot more Codys in the basic, Showdown, you name it, lines right after that. So be prepared for a lot more Cody Rhodes figures. But what say you? Did you order this Ultimate Edition? Were you snoozing a month ago or a year ago on that month-long pre-order, 2-week pre-order? There was a lot of people said, I never knew this went up. Well, it was everywhere for quite some time. It was definitely known on a lot of YouTube channels, social media, Mattel, you name it. It was out there, but it's tough. If you're a new collector jumping in, got to imagine these will start hitting eBay. They will be very, very expensive. Patience is a virtue. I always say that. You got to get a deal out there, and if you know once these start shipping, people are going to be paying $400 for something like this. I would not do that if I was you. Give it some time. There'll be some more. There'll be people that bought multiples that'll sell them. Things like that. You guys know how it goes if you've been around long enough. But very, very cool figure. You guys, like I said, tell me your thoughts on this, Cody. You picking it up, or did you pick this up? Let me know in the comments down below. Of course, don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Turn on the old notification bell, as we got videos every single day, including everything wrestling. We're unboxing something every single day, and I'd love to have you to subscribe and follow along. You can also get early access to videos like this, bonus content, exclusive content, giveaways, pizza reviews, Q&As, you name it, a ton of bonus content. And best of all, you do support the channel via the Patreon channel. Hit the link in the description below. And then don't forget, you can also support the channel over at ProWrestlingTees.com. Search Kyle Peterson. And don't forget to hit me up, follow along on social media. SirPaul64 on Twitter. Instagram, _Kyle_Peterson. So for Cody Rhodes, I am Kyle. I'll see you guys all real soon.